Hello, and welcome. It's good to see you. Join me for some hip mobility. We're going to need a couple of blocks. So if you have those, hit pause and go grab those. We're also going to use some yoga tune-up balls. So if you have those, or a tennis ball if you do not, grab that too while you're at it. All right, so we are going to get started on the floor. Have a seat. And don't forget to breathe. We're going to breathe in and out of the nose for this whole practice. So we're going to start in a cross-legged position. I just want you to notice where you feel any pull or a tug. We're also going to check out a second position here. Taking your legs wide, see where you're maybe leaning forward or not. If you're leaning forward quite a bit or struggling here, you can always do the following. Grab a couple of blocks, stick them underneath your knees, and notice you're sitting here. You can also take them a little bit lower if that feels too high. And we're just going to put these to the side for now. We're going to keep one of them with us. Slide it under the hips and sit nice and tall with your chest lifted and the back of your head stacked nicely over the back of your hips. Breathing in and out of that nose. Pull the block out from underneath the hips, and we're going to start lying on our backs. Lift one leg up. Don't worry, you don't have to straighten it. In fact, I don't want you to straighten it. Put a little bend in that knee. And we're going to explore internal and external rotation. So your leg is moving inside the hip joint. I'm going to turn to this side so that you can see it a little better from this angle. We're externally and internally rotating the thigh inside the hip joint. Hands on the hips will let you know if your pelvis is moving with your thigh or not. Hopefully not. Pelvis stays steady. The thigh moves. We're on that second leg. Second side. Breathing. In and out of the nose. And just notice what that's feeling like. And then place the foot gently on the floor. We're going to come up to seated, so roll to your side and push with your arm strength. Excellent. All right, so we're going to use 2 blocks for this next exercise. I'm stacking them up 1, 2 right on top of one another. And I'm going to have a seat right here. Sit up tall and get nice and comfortable. This is a little hip opener that I love to do. Place the left hand on the floor in front of the left foot. If it feels a little tight in your back, we're going to do a little twist and release to relieve some of that tension. Breathing, twisting. All right, now we're going to take this right foot out to the right. And here are the actions. We're going to push the foot down into the floor. We're going to take the knee out to the side and then press the knee back. These are subtle movements. They're not huge, but they make a huge difference in opening the hip. Down, out, and back. Again, down, out, and back. Relax. Foot down, knee out, knee back. relax, foot down, knee out, knee back, relax. Bring that right foot in and take that left foot out. Starting with a little twist. Foot down, knee out, knee back, relax. 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 One more time. Bring foot down, knee out, knee back, relax. And then pull the foot in and take a breath. All right, we're going to come up to standing. We're going to use a little forward fold and some juicing in the hip. So first, let's do a little forward fold. Make sure your knees are bent enough to rest your ribs on your thighs. Let your head hang to the floor and shift your weight into the heels. Let your head drop and breathe. And we're breathing. So we're going to add a little decompression. Place your elbows right above those knees. Dig your elbows in toward the bone and swoop them up towards the head. I'm going to say that again. The elbows dig in and swoop up, in and up. You'll feel some area of your spine decompress a little bit here. And then with a straight spine, you're going to lift up to standing. All right. We need one block for this next exercise. And we are going to place the block gently on the floor. And we're going to put a foot on the block and the other foot, and we'll step gently next to the other foot. But first, let's do this. Move your hips. Dance around with your hips. All right? Have fun with it. We're going to use that motion in this exercise. So come back into your forward fold with one foot on the block. I've got my left foot, so that's the foot I'm going to cue. Push your left foot down into the block. Make sure your ribs are touching your thigh, and then you're going to dance around in your hip. Let's call this juicing the hip. Don't forget to breathe. Step your right foot back to pyramid pose. Push your left foot into the block again. Juice the hips. Don't forget to breathe. And then gently step your back foot forward. Push both feet onto the floor and lift up with a straight spine. We don't roll up through the spine in this practice. Let's switch sides. Right foot to the block and forward fold. Rib to thigh over here on the right side. Right foot pushes down into the block. Don't forget to breathe. Juice the hip. Enjoy this. Step back with your left foot into that pyramid pose. Your right side ribs are still resting on your right thigh. Juice the hip again. And then when you're ready to come up, push down through your foot and stand. Take a breath, move around gently, or take a little walk around and just feel your hips. All right, now we're going to take it down to the floor. So come into a nice little hands and knees position. And we're going to go into this modified side plank. So I'm going to give you a couple of options. First option is to stretch one leg back and then rotate open here and keep your foot on the floor and rotate your hips down toward the mat and face your whole body, your hips and your chest towards the camera or towards your video. The other way to do this is lift a leg. Same exercise, open, close. These I call east-west hip hinges. You can keep your eyes down to the floor if you struggle with balance at all. It'll kind of make you open your shoulder a little bit here. Or you can take the hand to the hip, keeping the eyes focused. My favorite way, since I have quite a bit of balance, is to open my whole body, my face even, to the floor and to the side. All right, second side, let's try this out. Stretch your right leg back or pick it up, hip hinge. Don't forget to breathe here. And relax. We're going to do a little exercise that's going to open up, make this exercise currently that we're doing easier. So come into a side sitting position or a double L sitting position. You want about a 90-degree angle at the knee and at the ankle. But if it feels a little tight in the front of your hip, we're going to do something to help you with that. So come seated, wrap your elbows around your knees, and we're going to do one leg at a time. We're going to kick the knee toward the shoulder. Do that about 5-6 times. Second side. Relax. And then come back into your double L sitting position. If this feels like you're leaning way over to the side, you may want to roll up your mat and stick it under your hips. You want your right butt cheek on the mat and the left one definitely off the mat, the rolled up part. All right, so let's begin. The knee through the heel is what we're going to push down into the floor. And we're going to push down. It's likely you pushed pretty hard, so let's call that 100%, even if you feel like, it's not. But we're going to relax and then push down again at about 50% effort, and then relax, and then find 75% and push down a few times. Push, relax. You'll feel it in this outside of the hip where I was just touching. And then we're going to go to the other side. Perhaps roll up the mat again for under the hip. I'm going to go ahead and do this on this side. You can also use a pillow for under that front hip too. Okay, back hip, here we go. We want to feel this on the outside of the hip. That's your glute medius, you guys. We're going to push down, relax, and then push down again, 50% effort, and relax, and see if you can find 75% effort. Push down, and come out. Good, good. All right, now that was kind of like a little warm up for the glute medius, because these hip hinges are glute medius intensive, I guess I should say. So here we go. We're going to try out these hip hinges again, and you might find you have more control and balance here, more stability now that your glute medius is turned on. Make sure your body is fully rotating. What's interesting about east-west hip hinges are we usually kind of move the head of the femur. We usually move the femur around inside the pelvis, but here we're rotating the pelvis around the femur. So it makes it a little more challenging. Let's go to that second side. Again, whichever modification you choose. Open, close. And relax. Fantastic, you guys. Fantastic. All right, so we're going to check out a couple of positions here. And we're going to grab a ball and we're going to put it under the hip. Now, what I mean by a couple of positions is you might open, close, and then roll it to a slightly different position in the hip. Open, close, roll it, open, close. Or if you find a nice juicy spot, you might want to stay in one spot. It's possible too. Let's switch. And then relax. Cross your legs in front of you and just notice what that's feeling like now. Also, come into a second position and feel what that feels like. Take a breath. You rock. Okay. Next exercise, we're going to do a standing east-west hip hinge. So come up to standing. And let's start off with 2 blocks. You may want 2 blocks, but you may only want 1. Here's what it looks like if you use 2 blocks. Fingers lightly touching the blocks to stabilize you. Make sure you're not bending anything, but you're stretching through the heel, all through the way through the crown of the head. Long line of action. Open and close. All right, this is with my head looking down at the floor. You might want that for balance. Here's the hand on the hip. This helps you open your body more. And now I'm actually using my eyeballs. I'm looking to the side and then looking down. So it's helping me even more be able to rotate around that femur. So even if you are having balance issues and you stick your fingertips on the block, I want you to think about this rotation here. And then balance up to standing. Let's try it on that second side. And look, if you do struggle with balance here, just know most people hate. Listen, I train yoga teachers, and yoga teachers don't always have this mastered. This is one of those that a lot of people fumble with a little bit in their balance. So give yourself a break. Be really compassionate as you're learning this new way to move. And don't forget to breathe. Compassionate movement. How about that, y'all? And then balance up to standing on this side. And just feel your body. We're going to have a seat on the floor. See if you can get there without hands. Just a challenge. And breathe. Check out your second position. And pull your thigh bones up and into the hip sockets. Okay. All right, let's settle in. Lie on your backs and come into a half happy baby. Choose one side or the other. So half happy baby, the sole of the foot is looking up at the ceiling and the knee is reaching down toward the floor. And breathe. The right leg I have stretched long here, but you can also bend your knee. It's going to help you with that left side mobility to bend your knee. If you feel kind of cramped, you might hold on to the thigh or the back of the calf rather than the foot so that you don't feel so crunched. Whichever way suits you the best, be there and breathe. It's not about where you can grab or how far you can go. It really, really isn't. Let's take that other knee to the floor, second side, half happy baby. And breathe. Gently let go. And take that left foot in one more time. Half happy baby, left side. Straighten the leg all the way to the floor. Second side. Reaching through the leg. Let's rotate in and out on this side and just notice, is there more freedom? Is there more mobility? More mobility, more mobility. Say that 3 times fast. In and out. Second side. Just notice. And relax your legs long for a nice shavasana. Closing your eyes and breathing slow, smooth breaths. So I invite you to be here for at least 5 minutes to rest and meditate. And really, meditation isn't about having no thoughts, but it's about not engaging with them. So maybe watch them like you watch Netflix. Isn't that interesting? When a thought comes up. It's a pleasure being with you and practicing with you. Have a lovely day.